Good morning, Nigerians all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we may be in search of our daily bread. May God continue to provide for every one of us in Jesus' mighty name. And I pray that in Nigeria, this bloodshed by the Fulani and the bandits, Boko Haram, and all sorts of terrorist groups in the northern part of this country, the Almighty God will put an end to it as quick as possible, because enough of this untimely death of innocent people. For what? This is Comrade and Evangelist Adeniyi Joshua Oluwaseyi. Once again, we glorify God that I promise us that come April 1st, 2026, which is today, that I will start reading a book titled Take Over: The Hausa Fulani Islamic Agenda for Nigeria. For those who have been asking me that am I the one that wrote the book, I'm saying it clearly today to the whole world on this program that I am not the one that wrote it. It was written by the Middle Belt Dialogue, June 2014. Once again, this book was written by the Middle Belt Dialogue of June 2014. So, and if we notice very well, they say he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches most. We notice that it is this middle belt that are bearing this brunt too much than even any other place in this country. So the reason they have been the one bearing the brunt, you will hear everything in detail from this book, and the plans of the Fulani concerning jihad, right from their father Uthman Fodio, that wandered to the northern part of this country and subdue the owners of the land, which happen to be the Hausas. So we will know the secret of and the source of Nigerian problem. Then, after having the informations at our disposal, all of us will be, I believe, will be able to make a well-informed decision whenever we are planning to do something or anything with the Fulanis. So may God help us. Yes, again, let me just tell us that this book, we are going to be reading it on a weekly basis. So today is Wednesday, 1st of April, 2026. So meaning that the next chapter we will continue on the 8th of April, which is coming Wednesday. So that's how we'll continue to read it until we finish reading the book. And it's not a voluminous book, as I have said earlier. It's just a 20-page book, but it contains an information of 1,000-page book. Yes, that's what I can say about this book, about this small book. Looks small but mighty in terms of the content. So I would say Happy listening. Once again, yesterday, if you check my Facebook page, I've also sent it to TikTok, Instagram, the handles of the platforms that we are using on this program. So you can go and check it, so that you search for me, then you get every information you need about the problems we are having in this country and the solution, the way out. So God bless you all. So I read. In 1804, Shehu Usman Dan Fodio led itinerant Fulani from the Futajalon Heights in present-day Gambia and Senegal to settle in present-day northern Nigeria. Dan Fodio led a revolt against the existing Habe dynasties and supplanted them with Fulani emirs. You can see they emigrate to the north, then straight away they just subdue the indigenous people, the Habe dynasties. They subdue them and change their obas, their kings, with the Fulani emirs, which they are still using till date. They are using emirs. Now it says the Hausa were forcibly Islamized. Note, underline. The Hausa were forcibly Islamized. The Fulani Jihad and Islam made inroads into other areas not inhabited by the Fulani or Hausa, but were successfully resisted in much of today's Middle Belt. You can see where the problem starts, within the Fulani and the Middle Belt. This is the origin of the problem that is still existing today, because of the resistance that the Middle Belt showed them then, which they didn't allow the Fulani to penetrate straight to the south. That annoyance, that vengeance to them is what they are still acting upon till today. Till today, that they have continued to be killing innocent people. Now, next paragraph. It was British colonial rule that brought non-Hausa Fulani peoples who were never conquered by the latter, by the Fulani, under the rule of the Emirates. You can see, it was the British that brought those, even the whole Nigeria, especially the Middle Belt, under the rule of the Emirates. So this is where one can say the British has contributed to the woes that is happening in this our nation Nigeria today. It says it was British colonial rule that brought non-Hausa Fulani peoples who were never conquered by the latter under the rule of the Emirates, called indirect rule. It suited British colonial design to bring the different ethnic nationalities under the rather developed Emirate system for the purpose of maintaining law and order, recruiting for forced labor, and exacting taxes to run the colony with, which the bandits are doing today. They will take a local government away, or some villages, they will take it away from the local government chairman, even the governor, erect their flag, start collecting illegal tax from farmers. can see the origin of these problems. Now, the next paragraph, it says, after power was transferred to nationals and Sir Ahmadu Bello, the late Sardauna of Sokoto, became premier of the northern region, non-Muslim communities were denied potable water, roads, post office, schools, hospitals, and access to civil service absorption. You can see, under the premiership of the late Sir Ahmadu Bello, forcible conversion were effected from 1961 till he died in 1966. Sir Ahmadu Bello went on annual Islamization drives all over the northern region. Traditional rulership of communities became a preserve of only Muslims. The resistance against Muslim traditional rulers led to the Tiv riots in 1960 to 1964 and restiveness in old Gongola of today's Adamawa and Taraba state. Southern Kaduna, which is Kafancha, Tafawa Balewa, which happened to be in Bauchi state, and Plateau state. Promotion in the civil service depended on if a candidate had converted to Islam. The late Sardauna promised to dip the Quran into the sea. Note, please. I take it again. The late Sardauna promised to dip the Quran into the sea, meaning he will spread Islam from the far north across the country to the Atlantic Ocean, which is Lagos, before it was done. This agenda of dipping the Quran to the sea has continued unabated till date by consistent terror attacks and killings in the Middle Belt, followed by mass movement of new communities of Hausa Fulani into the Middle Belt, all the way down to the South states near the Atlantic Ocean. Meaning, we can see that Kwara state that belong to Yoruba, the Fulani, they took the Oba away from the Yoruba, right from Afanja. Up to date, they were using Emir in a state that belong to Yoruba. So, to confirm what is being written in this book for you. Now, I take that again. It says this agenda of dipping the Quran to the sea has continued unabated till date. Note, by consistent terror attacks and killings in the Middle Belt, followed by mass movements of new communities of Hausa, Fulani into the Middle Belt, all the way down to the South states near the Atlantic Ocean. We all know how Ilorin is close to Lagos here. So, the last paragraph where we will stop the reading of today. It says, please listen very well. In 1960, the late Sir Ahmadu Bello said, please listen again very well. It says, in 1960, the late Sir Ahmadu Bello said, the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather Uthman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. Note, please, I want all of us to note. That's why I'm reading it one by one. He says, we must ruthlessly prevent a change of power, which they are doing to date. You can see how they struggle with the present president after Buhari left. They never want him to reach that position. This is what started it. It started from this, what Uthman Danfodiyo is saying in this book, recorded in this book. This is his a speech, his quote, yes, let me put it that way, his quote made from his speech, which they are still following to date. So we must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us. You can see it. And never allow them to have control over their future. They are talking about our future in the South, that they will never allow us to have control over our future, that they will never allow us, the South, to rule over them, as if Nigeria is their personal property. From where? From Futajalon. You just rush to your cattle to the north and discover that this is a fertile country. Then you took over the Hausa land, and you say you want to take over the whole Nigeria for your father. Which father? Which kind of thief father is that? That want to take another man's entire country, a country of different ethnic groups. You say you want to take it for Uthman Danfodiyo. As how? How is that one possible? Abba. You are making the biggest mistake of your life. So, my people, let me take that quote of Ahmadu Bello again and stop our reading there today. In 1960, the late Sir Ahmadu Bello said, the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather, Uthman Danfodiyo. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us. That means they will never allow the South to rule over the North. That's why they prevented Awolowo from ruling this country. They prevented Abiola. They even outrightly killed him. They even tried same thing on President Tinubu. You can see that when they failed to stop him from getting to the presidency, they raised a coup, which God dismissed their disposition, their efforts. After raising a failed coup, they still tried to poison him. All following what is in this book, that they will never allow the South to rule over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. They are telling us that they will never allow us to have control over our future. As how? That's the quote of Ahmadu Bello. You can find it in the Parrot newspaper of 12th October 1960, or which is republished on November 13, 2002 by the Tribune newspaper. You can search it. This is where we are going to stop our reading for today. Next week, coming with by God's grace, on the 8th of April, we will continue from where we stopped here. Again, the book we are reading is a book that reveal the evil plans of the Fulanis that are strangers in this country. Their evil plan against we, the nationals of this country, is what this book is revealing. So we'll stop here today. We'll continue coming week on 8th of April 2026 by the special grace of Almighty God. Once again, this is Comrade and Evangelist Adeniyi Joshua Oluwaseyi. Go to all my platforms as I've published it on my Facebook page and TikTok and Instagram. Go and search for me there. You get my YouTube handle and every other ones, the Facebook and every other handles, they are there on my Facebook page. Go and find it and listen again and again and have this information at your disposal so that you won't be in the dark about the plans of this evil Fulani against we, the innocent Nigerians. As I'm rounding up, I say, may God bless we that are innocent and loyal and law-abiding citizens of this country, Nigeria. May God bless us. Thank you very much. See you coming week on the continuation of reading this book. Thank you.